How great of a God that we do have tonight. Amen. He is he's a wonderful God. He's a worthy God, and He's worthy of our praise. He's worthy of our grace. He's worthy of our mercy. Good job, young man. Amen. And we're thankful for each and everything that He does. I had a word that came into my heart, and I wanted to share it with you tonight, and hopefully, it'll help somebody. And it's been a kind of a simple word, and it's been scriptures that I probably preached most of them before. But I was been talking to a gentleman on the phone this week, and then he was talking about when he was a young man, and he got in a little bit of trouble, and but he found refuge. He found refuge in a church, and he found refuge with a pastor, and that man pastor took him and he kept him safe and helped him out in his time of trouble. And I thought about what that meant for us to be able to find refuge. For us to find refuge. What is that word, refuge? It's a condition of being safe or sheltered from pursuit, from danger, or from trouble. So now it's good when we find rescue. It's good when we find help. It's been good when we can find something. Where I'm going to start out at tonight is Psalms chapter 46. We're going to read verses 1 through 3, and then we're going to jump down to verses 10 and 11. You don't have to stand tonight, but there's been something I'm going to try to pull out just a little bit later on. Like I said, this has been scriptures that we preach time and time again. But yet there's something that I'd like to pull out of this if I could. In Psalms 46, starting in verse 1, it says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in the time of trouble. You all have heard me say time and time again that, man, God is not just a God of yesterday, not just a God of tomorrow, but He's a God of today. He's been our present help. But it says God is. Can I tell you that we can find a help and we can find refuge in a lot of different places. We can find people that, man, are going to help us, but yet there's no help like the refuge of God. It says God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in our time of trouble. Can I tell you that if I went around this room today and if I stopped at each and every person and I asked you that question, have you ever felt trouble? Are you feeling trouble today? Are you feeling something that you don't know if you can get through it or not? We've all been there. We've all felt that. But yet I want you to understand something tonight, that if we truly want to find refuge, we're going to find refuge in God. We'll not find it in nobody. We'll not find it in a place. We'll not find it in a job. We'll not find it even at a home. If you truly want refuge, you've got to find it in God. But then it said in verse 2, it says, therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake and the swelling thereof, Selah. But yet I'm going to tell you something today. We can look at this and all the things that is going on around the world. We can look not only in our own nation, but we can look in other nations and other countries and everything that's going on. But can I tell you that we as children of God, we have a place that we can run. We've been got a refuge that we can go to. We've been got a place that is bigger than anything else that is happening. But yet we've got to understand that it's in God. In verse 10 it says this, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I'm God. You got to understand something. God has always been, always will be, from the beginning to the end. It is all about Him. Said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, was with God. Can I tell you today that this Word, we can find what we need in the Word of God. But it says, be still and know that I am God. He said, I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Then in verse 11, it says, the Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Can I tell you today that God is our refuge? He was their refuge, and He's still our refuge. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. He's still the place that we can run. He's the place that we can go to. Now, I'm going to go over into Psalm 91. And we have probably read a lot of this scripture before. We might even read all of it. But I want to go through some of it with you tonight. It said in Psalm 91, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So can I tell you that there's something about a dwelling place. There's something about a place that you and I can get to. Can I tell you that regardless of what goes on around us, we've got a refuge and we've got a place that we can find. It's been a secret place of the Most High. What are you talking about that it's secret? Because it's a place that only those that know Him can abide in. It's been a place that only those that have a relationship with Him will even know what He's talking about. But it said that he that dwelleth in that secret place of the Most High, that they shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So I'm telling you today, church, that it's not just talking about being in His presence. It's just being close enough to Him that His shadow is over us. Can I tell you that if He's got us covered, then we got to know that we found the right refuge. In verse 2, it says, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and He is my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. So I got to know that when I woke up this morning and I put my feet on the ground, it wasn't me, but it was by God's grace and it was by God's mercy. And He's my refuge. He's my fortress. He's my dwelling place. Nothing can come against me because I am a child of God. Now, I never said that you wouldn't face nothing. That's not what I'm saying. But He says that He's your refuge. He's your fortress. He's been the one that you can trust in. You can trust in Him. There's been a lot of things that we can't trust in. But we can trust in God. There's been a lot of people and a lot of things that will let us down. But there's one thing for certain. God will never let us down. He will never fail us. We fail Him, but He never fails us. I never said that everything would work out exactly the way we want it. But all I know is this. He will take care of His. It said in verse 3, it says, surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. When I looked at verse 8, I thought about this. It said, only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And I looked at that and I thought that, I don't know about everybody else. I'll just talk about myself. All I know is that I've looked at people and I've wondered sometimes. I've thought, well, how come they got everything so good? Or it looks like they've got everything so good and they're so evil and they're so messed up. But yet children of God, it seems like sometimes that they struggle. Sometimes that they go through things that they shouldn't never have to go through. Oh, but there's something, church, that we have to realize that if God is our refuge, that there's something better that is waiting on us. Can I tell you that regardless of how long that we spend on this earth, we've got a better day coming. I said we have got a better day coming because God is our refuge. He is our help. He is our strength. He is our help in our times of trouble. I've heard many people make this statement before, and I've probably been guilty of making it too. And I don't know how people make it without Him. And you know why we can say that? You know why? We can say that because we have that relationship with Him. If you don't know Him, if you don't have a personal relationship with Him, you don't have nobody to lean on. You ain't got nobody to depend on. You've not got that refuge. You've not got that fortress. You've not got that place that you can run to. You've not got it if you don't know Him. But if you know Him, like we say that we know Him, then we've got a place that we can run to. We've got a place that we've got somebody we can call on in the midnight hour, and we can't call on nobody else. We can call on Him. We can get to where He is. Saturday night about 3:30 in the morning, my phone rung, and it was a 1-800 number. I told my woman, I said, just go ahead and turn that off. Just turn it off. I've got a telemarketer trying to call me at 3:30 in the morning. Then the longer that I laid there, the more that it got on my mind. And I got up and they'd left a voicemail. And it was a place that I work. And they said that an alarm had went off. And I thought, man, surely to goodness, I'm not going to have to go there at 3:30 in the morning. That won't be the first time that I've had to do it, but yet I didn't want to. So I called them, and I found out that it only lasted for about 2 minutes and where it was at. So I said, well, all I know is we got a visitor on the inside. Maybe it's a mouse, maybe it's a moth, maybe it's something like that, but I didn't have to go. But I thought about it, how good that it was that no matter what time of the night, no matter what time of the morning, no matter what time of the day, that I've got a God that when I call, that He will answer my call. He don't hang up on me because He is my refuge. He's my help in my times of trouble. He's been everything that I have need of. Now, listen. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And it said, only thy eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. It says, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. Said He give His angels charge over you. Anybody believe in angels? Do you men believe that you've got one that's assigned to you? I do. I men believe that. Well, maybe more than one. But I do know that we do have one, at least one, that's been assigned to us. But yet, it's been left up to us on how that we use our angels. Because they only do what we ask them to do. They don't intervene in them places that they're not welcome. But yet I know this, that if I'm where I need to be with God and I'm doing what I need to do with God, then can I tell you that He shall give His angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They sing a song here sometime about angels watching over us, about angels being with us. But yet we find out in the Bible sometimes we can entertain angels and we don't understand that we do. But yet they're there for us and for what we have need of. It's good to know that I've got a refuge that I can go to and that God is going to take care of me. Now, to find refuge. To find refuge. Now, there's a story in the book of Joshua in chapter 2. There's been a story about something that I'm going to want to show you here for just a second. If we can back up in Joshua chapter 1, starting in verse 1, it said, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord is come to pass. And the Lord spake unto Joshua. Now, I want you to keep that in your mind. The Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses his minister, saying, Moses, my servant is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan thou and all this people into the land which I do give to them. So I want you to understand something right here, that there was a promise that was given. He said, I'm going to give you this land, even to the children of Israel. But now listen to what verse 3 said. It says, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. So can I tell you, here's something that I want you to understand. God had given Moses the land, but yet it was because of the people's disobedience that they never possessed the land. So can I tell you today, church, that if we're dwelling in the secret place of the Most High, God has something that He's given to you and I, but it's left up to us whether we possess it or not, because it says, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. So, now this man was Joshua. So now listen, over in Joshua chapter 2, and Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into a harlot's house named Rahab, and they lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, behold, there came men to hither tonight of the children of Israel, to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thy house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men, and she hid them, and said thus, there came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were. And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and she had hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords, and as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. Now I want you to listen. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us. So here we are. We've got a harlot by the name of Rahab. And she took some men, and you may say, well, she lied in order to keep those men safe. You know what I think? I think that God had a refuge. God had a refuge by the name of Rahab that was going to keep them safe from all trouble. But I want you to understand what she said. She said, I know that the Lord hath given you the land. Oh, can I tell you today, church, that God is still a giver, and He's still giving His people what they need. Now, she said this, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. They're been scared of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that you will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that ye will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered to her, our life for yours, if ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon a town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned. And afterward may ye go your way. And the men said unto her, we will be blameless of this thine oath, which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind the line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by. And thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of the house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in thy house, his blood shall be on her head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quiet of thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear. And she said, according unto your word, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came into the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the men returned and descended from the mountain, and they passed over, and they came to Joshua the son of Nun, and they told him all things that befell them. And they said unto Joshua, truly the Lord hath delivered unto our hands all the land, even the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. And I read that whole story to tell you this, that God takes care of those that is His and those that are attached to them. There's nowhere that I can find in that story that the mom and the dad and the brothers and the sisters asked for anything. Rahab wasn't worried about herself, but she was worried about her family. To find refuge. Out of all places to find refuge in a city, they found refuge. They found a place that was going to be their help in the midst of a harlot. In the midst of a person that would seem to be the most least likely to be able to help them out. But yet because they found refuge, because God placed them right in the place that they needed to be, right at the time that they needed to be there. Can I tell you something? That we are not anywhere that it's by circumstance. The story that Johnny told at the beginning of church, that wasn't by circumstance. That was the divine intervention of God. You can look at it any way that you want to, but yet that was an intervention. That was a refuge. That was a place that that God wanted him to be at the time that he was. So can I tell you, it's just like these men right here. There's one thing that Rahab knew. She knew that if God said that they could take it, honey, they could take it. If God said that they could have it, then they could have it. So can I tell you what you and I have to do? We have to realize that what God said in the Word, that if He said we could have it, then we can have it. If God said it's ours, then it's ours. But we got to understand something. We got to dwell where we're supposed to dwell. Back in Psalms 91, it says those that dwell in the secret place of the Most High. shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. Those men that dwell there. Here's been what a lot of the world wants to do. They men want to run in and they want to run out. They want to come in for a little while. They want to go out for a little while. But it said those that dwell in the secret place. A dwelling place is a place where you stay. You spend more time in that dwelling place than you do anywhere else. That's been what a dwelling place is. So it said those that dwell in the secret place of the Most High. I'm not talking about in the church house. I'm talking about in His presence. Those that dwell in the secret place. Every day we're supposed to dwell in His presence. Every moment of the day we're supposed to dwell in His presence. I'm not talking about walking around speaking in tongues 24/7. That ain't what I'm talking about. Some people, they try to do so much spiritual good that they don't even do no earthly good. But yet, you and I, we men have to realize that if we dwell in the secret place of the Most High, that we run up on people every day that needs to know how they can make it. How am I going to make it? What am I going to do next? I don't know. I don't know, but I know one that does. I don't know exactly what's in store. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I do know who holds tomorrow. I don't understand everything that's going on, but let me tell you how I made it. Let me tell you what God's done for me. See, you can't have a testimony without a test. You can't have a testimony without a test. There's been not a person on the sound of my voice tonight, unless you're really, really small, but there's not a person, there's not a grown-up under my voice tonight that meant that you've not been tested somewhere in your faith. There's been some times that you've been tested to the very limits, but yet you can turn that test into a testimony. Let me tell you, I kept dwelling in His refuge. I kept dwelling where He wanted me to dwell. I kept dwelling in the place that God had for me. And because I did, I made it. I made it. I don't know how I made it, but I made it. I don't know why that I made it, but I made it. I mean, talk to people sometimes and they'll say, well, God must have a purpose for me. Yeah, He's been got a purpose for every man, woman, and child under the sound of my voice. He has a purpose. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? You got to find out what your purpose is. But God has a purpose for all of us. But we got to be willing to tell the world what God has done for you and I. You can come back to the music. I'm getting ready to close. Refuge. Refuge. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Verse 2. I will say of the Lord, He is. Who is? He is. He is my refuge. He is my fortress. He is my God. In Him will I trust. I'm going to trust in Him. I'm going to trust in Him. I know you guys get tired of me saying this, but we got to trust Him when we can't trace Him. We don't understand Him, we've still got to trust Him. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that I understand everything about God. I come in and write a book, as my brother used to say, I could write a book on the things I don't understand. There's been a lot I don't understand. I don't understand why bad things happen to a lot of good people. I don't understand some of the bad things that goes on in the world. But I know that we live in a fallen world. But yet I also know he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High will abide under the shadows of the Almighty. And we can say that He is our refuge. He is our fortress. He is my help. And in God is whom I will trust. I'm going to trust Him. I choose to trust Him. Can I tell you that it's a choice? It's been a choice if you want to trust Him. You can get mad at Him or you can trust Him. I choose to trust Him. If you would, as they play tonight, if you're in this house tonight and your relationship's not where it needs to be with God, you're in the most wonderful place that you could ever be. You're in the house of God and you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity that a lot of people don't have tonight. But you've got an opportunity to come to know your Savior at a more intimate relationship. If you're in this house tonight, you just want to find some peace. You just want to find some comfort. You want to find some help. You want to find some strength. Find yourself a place to pray. And He'll meet you right where you are. And He'll give you the help you need.